Well, hi, and welcome back to the channel. So we interrupt this lap of Australia to bring you what I regard as my shot of the year. So as you know, I've done this a couple of years in the past where I've just gone through a lot of the shots I've done over the last 12 months and sort of presented them to you. And you've probably seen a lot of these shots already, but these are sort of my picks. So just in case you missed any of the videos or any of the shots I've been putting up, this is my sort of pick of the shots of this year. And goodness, there's been a few to pick from, but what a great place. So we've just reached WA. I'm a little bit behind on the videos, so there's more videos coming your way soon, on the lap, of course, on the trip. What better way than to set up with a beach, a rock on the beach. Actually, we've got a really nice cloudy day, so some great stuff going on in the sky, so it might well be a sunset shoot tonight. But we got some birds on the rocks, etc. We got people sitting on the beach. Anyway, everyone's having a bit of fun. So I've got some shots to bring to you. First shot I'm going to bring to you was very early on in the year. In fact, when we started this lap of Australia that we're currently on, one of the first places we went to was a place called Battle Bay. We stayed at a little campsite right near the beach, and I literally wandered down the beach in the morning, found some little rocks and had a cracking little sunrise, because it's the east coast, of course, cracking little sunrise, and it just brought back great memories when I went through all the shots. It was very, very unexpected, and that's always the best ones, isn't it? So here's the first shot of today, the sunrise from Battle Bay in New South Wales. Let's check it out. Alright, so I've now moved about much closer to the tide. I've moved about sort of 50 meters down the beach because Mum, Pop and the kids turned up and decided they wanted to play right in front of the camera. So I've always thought we should do a video on photography etiquette, but they just decided to set up there, and that's where they were going to play. So it's a free country, it's a free beach, they can play wherever they like, so I just decided to move. So lovely green mossy rocks, which, you know how much I love those. So our gannet friends, or whatever the birds are, just on a rock off to the left here. So anyway, we've just seen Battle Bay, and after Battle Bay we went a little bit further north to a beach called Redhead Beach. Keep an eye on this tide, because the tide is coming in. I am trapped, so I have to scarper out of here if it comes too high. Redhead Beach. So Redhead Beach got a beautiful sunrise there, but what I was more interested in was I had an amazing rock on the beach in front of me, and every single wave that hit that rock was forming different patterns around the rock. I couldn't decide which one was the pick of the bunch, so I got three here for you, and I'll skim through them very quickly. Redhead Beach, sunrise, very early in the morning, of course, and just these amazing patterns that were coming around this rock. Let's enjoy these together. Check it out. Yeah, they were really amazing. When I went through all the shots, it was amazing how many different patterns were in the sand, just from one rock and a set of waves hitting that rock. It was quite incredible. After Redhead Beach, we went a little bit further north again, and we stayed just south of Foster at a place called Kylie's Beach. Now, this was like a national park campground. Amazing beach, really great campground. Shout out to national parks again, they do such a great job, and all the facilities were great. And again, I got up early, took a walk down the beach in the morning. There weren't too many sort of photogenic rocks, if you like, on the beach. However, there was a couple of rocks there, but the sunrise I got It was one of these beaches that sort of a very shallow beach that goes out in the distance there, and I got some amazing reflections. I got a couple of seagulls that sat perfectly for me on either side of the rising sun. So you see the shot here, but it was one of those, again, shots are all about memories, aren't they? So, you know, you see a shot and it brings back great memories. I love this shot, so let's enjoy this one together. So this is Kylie's Beach, New South Wales, just south of Forster. Let's check it out. Yeah, it was a beauty. I loved that. We went inland, so this is kind of 6 months ago, Easter time, and I'm not wet yet. We went inland for Easter and to one of the dams there. So there's two dams we visited. One was Copeton Dam and the other was Copeton Dam. The best sunrise I got by far was at Copeton Dam. Copeton Dam had a little bit more water in it, so it had a little bit more character than Keep It at the time. I'm sure Keep It's every bit as photogenic as well, of course. But Copeton Dam was like tent city and caravan city all around the edge of the waterfront. It was amazing to see all these people out having a good time for Easter. Made it a little bit hard to try and get a good spot to get photos for sunrise, but I found this amazing little bay on the dam. And actually what I'll do is I'll put a link up to some of these videos as well. So in the description below, I'll put links to the videos where these shots are featured. But I got up very super early, was wandering around in the dark. The poor people that were camping there was one family camping there with their van, had like a Rottweiler dog that was outside the van, and of course I'm creeping around in the dark with my torch. The dog's gone off its head. So I just quickly scarpered across the one area that I thought, oh, I might get a shot there. There was no shot, so I had to come back again. The dog's gone off its head again, so I went around the other side of their van, nice and quiet. The dog calmed down. I got some shots, and I got the best sunset of that whole weekend right there with this couple that was probably camped 20 meters from where I'm shooting. And afterwards, when the sun was up and it was all over, they actually came across. The lady was lovely. I apologized profusely for waking them up so early in the morning. She said, look, don't worry about it. He goes off his head at the first noise. She offered me a cup of tea, and they were a lovely couple, really, really great couple. So very good memories. I'll put the link up for this one, as I said, in the link below, Copeton Dam, and amazing sunrise there. Let's check this one out together. Here we go. Alright, so we're still heading north. We were in Copeton Dam, which is sort of a little bit inland in sort of mid to north New South Wales. Then we headed over towards Queensland, and on the sort of New South Wales-Queensland border there's a national park called Springbrook National Park. And we went to specifically to visit this. It's called Natural Arch, and it's a waterfall inside a cave. Amazing, spectacular. You run out of superlatives for this. I did a video on this one, and just to show some of the surroundings as well. And as I said, I'll put the links in the description below. But what made this kind of special was the water was falling down inside the cave and then flowing out the main entrance to the cave. In the video, what I did was I was talking about when you use Photoshop, you can use Photoshop to remove distractions in shots. Now, I'm okay with that. I tend not to like man-made structures in my shots. If I'm shooting a nice landscape, the last thing I want to see is a staircase, that's a metal staircase. And that's what happened in this shot. So in the cave, across on the right-hand side of frame, you can see where the metal staircase and sort of walkway, gantry-way was built on the right-hand side, so that, you know, visitors can come in, see the falls in relative safety. So what I did in the video for this one was I showed you what you can do with Photoshop, and simply by drawing a circle around that walkway and hitting remove, you can actually get Photoshop to fill in the blanks, and Photoshop will fill in what it thinks should be there. So you can take your pick, whichever methodology you like. I don't mind it, as long as you kind of own up to it, and it's not how it was in the original shot. There was a walkway there, but you'll see both shots here, with and without the stairway on the right. So let's check these shots out. Here we go. So continuing in Queensland, we went a little bit further north. So we went sort of through Brisbane, out the other side on the north side, and oh my goodness, it was completely unplanned. Wild Horse Lookout. So Wild Horse Lookout, just off the freeways, just off the sort of main road heading north out of Brisbane. And what it does is it gives you an amazing, spectacular view of the Glasshouse Mountains. Glasshouse Mountains are pretty famous. They're these incredible rocky structures that just completely rise out of nowhere. And I know a lot of people do sort of climbing, mountaineering up there. And so we thought, well, let's go up and see what's happening. The climb up to the lookout was not too bad, but when you're in a hurry and you've got a backpack full of gear and you know the sun's going down very soon, we hit the scarper up that hill, and it felt like it was 45 degrees. I had to get up there in 10 minutes, so it was a bit of a sweaty mess when we got to the top. However, the sunset completely made up for it. The sunset was absolutely gorgeous. So once I got up there, I decided the best way to capture this was to do a panorama. So this was a panorama of the whole scene. This one looks pretty big, huh? I'll keep an eye on this one for a sec. We're dry, good. So it was a panorama of the whole scene, and my goodness, what a sunset it was. Again, completely unplanned. We just knew the lookout was there, so we thought, well, let's scarper up the hill. So Wild Horse Lookout, Glasshouse Mountains, what a place. Put it on your list. Here we go, check it out. All right, we're getting there. So continuing in the vein of Queensland here, we went from sort of the Sunshine Coast area way out east. It's probably about 7 hours drive from kind of Hervey Bay latitude, way out to Carnarvon Gorge. Now, Carnarvon Gorge is a very, very special place. If you have the opportunity, make sure it's on your list, because it is very, very special. When we got there, we decided we'll do one side of the gorge prior to doing the other side. So we went up this area called Mickey's Creek. Let me just make sure you can see me okay. Yeah, that's looking all right. Okay, so we decided to do the easy side before we hit the main gorge. So the easy side is called Mickey's Creek. Make sure you have Mickey's Creek on your list, because we went up Mickey's Creek, and where we thought the trail ended, we kind of pushed through. It looked like there was a little bit of a trail going on, and as we sort of got through that and pushed through, and we came across this unbelievable gorge that you could walk all the way through, and it went for quite a few hundred meters. I'll put some video up as I'm talking here of us in the middle of that gorge, making our way through, and I was setting up, taking shots on the tripod, and every shot I was taking thinking, this is better than the last one, this is getting better, it's better, this is the best one, no, this is the best one. I was like a kid in a candy store. It was unbelievable. So if you get an opportunity to visit, Carnarvon Gorge, up the main gorge, is spectacular, but finding this little gorge down Mickey's Creek, which was not on the maps, it was not marked anywhere, and when we spent hours up there and there was no one there, we had the place to ourselves. It was absolutely insane. So here's a little shot from Mickey's Creek Gorge, and great memories. But make sure Carnarvon's on your list because it's absolutely spectacular. Okay, here we go, check it out. So Carnarvon Gorge, what a place, absolutely amazing. So what we did after Carnarvon was we decided that the van we were traveling in at the time wasn't quite suited to what we needed in terms of heading around the country. So what we did was we did a bit of shopping, we shopped online, we made lots of phone calls, we went and actually looked at new van models. And so we decided on a particular model, and I'm going to put up a video of that one to show you what that looks like. It's actually a Cub hybrid van, so you might be familiar with Cub campers if you're in Australia, that is, of course. So we bought their new H16 model. It's amazing. It's a great piece of kit, but that meant, of course, it was being built in Sydney, so we had to about turn and head back from Carnarvon Gorge all the way back down to Sydney. After Sydney, we picked up the van, we went straight to the Flinders in South Australia. Flinders, amazing. What a place. It was absolutely amazing. Now, it was a bit cold when we were there because it was the middle of winter, but it has such a variety of landscape. It has, everything from the really rocky, craggy, dramatic sort of mountainsides and that amazing look to greenery and beautiful landscapes with everything you'd expect from these amazing mountain ranges. So we stopped, in fact we took the van up there, we stopped at a place called Razorback Lookout. I forgot for a second there. We stopped at Razorback Lookout there to get a shot of Razorback Lookout. Amazing. And what I really liked about this was just the natural, this winding road heading off to the distance. There's a little tree off to one side and just these amazing mountains in the distance as well. So Razorback Lookout, very natural looking shot. Hope you enjoy it. Here we go, check it out. All right, lovely little spot. Okay, we're almost there. So after the Flinders, we started heading north. We went through Coober Pedy and it went through an area. There's two areas I'm going to combine here. One's called the Breakaways, and the other one is the Painted Desert. And they looked very similar in their sort of outlook. I've just noticed that Mom, Pop, and the kids are really trying to get in this video. They're following me. So anyway, the Breakaways and the Painted Desert. So it's that eroded sand look and leaving the sandstone mountains behind. I think in Australia they're called jump ups. In the US they might be called something else, but we call them jump ups. what a place. It was amazing to be out there, have basically the whole desert to yourself, and to have all these amazing views of these jump ups, multicolored. No wonder they call it the painted desert. It was absolutely spectacular. There's so many different shots that you could have spent a month there and never had the same shot twice. It was amazing. So I got a couple of shots here from the Breakaways. I love the little tree. I did a portrait shot of this little tree with one of the jump ups behind it. The tree was just begging for its picture to be taken. It was super photogenic. I absolutely loved it. And then also the panorama of 3 or 4 jump ups that you can see in the shot there as well. Just to be able to climb up one of these mountains, sit on the edge of a mountain and set a panorama up with no one around was absolutely amazing. You can see it in the videos, and down in the links here you'll see there's just no sound. It's amazing. Anyway, the Breakaways and the Painted Desert. Let's check these out. You know, it's funny because along the way, we've been doing this lap of Australia, as you know. Along the way, we've seen quite a bit of wildlife. Now, a lot of that wildlife has been running across in front of the car. We actually have had more dingoes and emus running across the road than we have kangaroos. We've had a couple of kangaroos that got pretty close, but birds, emus, and a couple of dingoes ran across in front of us as well, which is kind of interesting. But it's given us the opportunity to, I mean, I'm not a wildlife photographer. I have nothing but respect for wildlife photographers that have the patience to sit and wait for that perfect shot. Nothing but respect. So my own wildlife photography is limited to, you know, Sydney Zoo or easy shots. But on this trip, we've had the opportunity to shoot a couple of things. So there's a couple of things, I'll just put these up very quickly. We had one of these hawks, a kite that was buzzing right above us down one of the beaches. Very, very interested in us. I didn't think he was going to grab me and fly off with me, but he was pretty happy to pose up there for a shot. So I grabbed him. I got some crocs for you that were literally jumping out the water to grab chickens and all sorts of things. It was a cruise that we did, which way over delivered on what they promised. They said we're going to feed some crocodiles, and I thought, oh, we'll probably end up with oh, sorry, there was no crocs today, never mind. There were at least a dozen crocs around this boat, and they were leaping out the water. And so I handheld a couple of shots for you so that you can just enjoy what we were seeing as well. A beautiful goanna lizard just before that cruise as well was sitting there with this amazing light on him, so I get a shot of the goanna as well. Anyway, I'll put a couple of these shots up and enjoy these. Here we go. This one was kind of special. This one we took when you visit Alice Springs. To the west and to the east of Alice Springs are the McDonald's Ranges. So you have the West McDonald's and the East McDonald's. We did both. We had an amazing time at both, and there's a video coming up very soon on the West McDonald's. In fact, I'll probably throw some East McDonald's shots in there too. Part of the West McDonald's, on the west side of the West McDonald's, there's an area that has to be visited called Gosse's Bluff. It's a crater that was hit by a meteorite 100 million years ago, and this meteorite formed a crater that was something in the order of 25 miles across. In fact, I think it was even bigger than that. But over the years, a lot of the outer rings have been eroded through just natural weather erosion. But the actual inner ring is still there. It's very prominent, and it's a mountain range. This thing is huge, and you can drive into the center. So we did. We took the van with us. We drove all the way into the center and stood in the center of this ring of mountains. A little bit scary to think a meteorite hit this 100 million years ago. It must have been like a dozen atomic bombs going off. It was absolutely amazing. Interestingly, when you're in there, you don't really get the sensation of how big the ring of mountains looks like. So we actually stayed just outside the crater for the night, by ourselves, in the middle of nowhere. Complete darkness, absolutely black. But before the sun went down, I put my drone up, straight up, as far as it would go, and took a little bit of a panorama of the crater. What a memory. What an incredible place. And I wanted to share that shot with you. I haven't put this one on a video anywhere, so I just wanted to share this shot with you because it was quite incredible. And if you look closely in the shot down the bottom, you can see the road that drives in to the center of the crater. Amazing. All right, enough said. Let's go and check out the shot. Here it comes. So we're here, we're at the last shot, the final shot, the shot of the year for me. And you know, it's interesting because you go through a year and you take lots of shots, and normally when I get to this time of year and I'm looking for the shot of the year, sometimes it can be quite a hard decision because you have some great memories, you have some great conditions that you shoot throughout the year, etc. This year, it was a no-brainer. It was one of those shots that it just stood out for me. It was Lake Hart. So between the Flinders and Coober Pedy, Lake Hart sits on right by the highway. You can stop, you can stay over, it's free of charge. It's a saltwater lake, and it was full. And I'm not sure what the conditions were in order to have a full lake, but I'm sure they must have had rain or something, or the water came from somewhere. It was super salty. I tasted it. Have a look at the video down below. And I saw on the forecast that there may have been some high cloud around. So I thought, okay, well, let's scout around, find out where we can shoot from. Lots of tourists around. So I thought, well, I need to be away from the beaten track a little. And I found a spot. The sun came and went, and I almost packed up and left. And I thought, oh, that's it then. There's nothing to show for tonight. Never mind, we'll move on, go to the next place. It just shows that you need to hang around. You need to wait after sunset. And I recommend you wait 20 to 30 minutes because I had probably spent 10-15 minutes waiting, thought nothing was going to happen. I've walked over the camera bag, I'm starting putting things away. Boom, off it went. It was incredible. And it was the interesting thing was, it wasn't in the direction of where the sun went down. It was off to the left of frame. So I had to quickly reset the camera and capture what was going on in front of me. I got the reflections on the lake. The patterns of the clouds were just all perfectly aligned. You can see the sun going, or where it went down on the right hand side. It was a sensational night, and you sort of nod and acknowledge that you need to wait. It's always worth waiting that extra 10-15 minutes, more than you would normally wait, because it all went off. It was an amazing, scary night. So here it is, enough said. My shot of the year for 2024, Lake Hart, South Australia. sunset. Here we go, check it out. It just goes to show that you need to wait for 15, 20, 30 minutes at least, because you just don't know what's going to happen. I would have been absolutely aghast if I had been halfway up to the car park and that went off and I had lost the shot. It was a spectacular night. So we're done. I probably won't put all the shots up with the settings like I normally do. If you want to see settings, jump into one of the links below, because all the settings are in the videos linked below in the description. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We're going to continue this lap of Australia. We've got so many dots on our map that we're going to visit. I'm actually falling behind. I've got so many shots I'm processing, and there's going to be so much content for you coming in the year ahead. So make sure you're subscribed. Have a great new year. Have an amazing 25. Look forward to seeing you next year. Have a good one. Cheers.